Hey, I'm good. Did I text you twice on accident? I was forwarding it to different people, and I think I forwarded it to you twice. Whoops. Hello, 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 hello. How are you? I realized I haven't been live in a minute, and I had a couple people be like, "Oh, you're not live," and I was like, "Okay, I'll go live tonight." And so here I am. Oh, I did message you twice. My bad. Sorry. I was not meaning to do it twice. I'm on Ryan Lee TM on YouTube as usual. Hey, oh, you got my message. Good. So yeah, so we're gonna go look at a car tomorrow and hopefully it works. We've looked at a couple um before we got the money just to like see where we're at or whatever, but we went and looked at a couple. Hey, and tomorrow's the one that we're really hoping for. We got the money. So we're hoping that the one tomorrow works out because that way it'll just be done and over with. I just want it to be done and over with. I'm over it. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, I love shopping." No, I hate shopping for cars. I hate all of it. I hate having to call and get the insurance going. That's the part I'm going to hate the most because trying to get a hold of my insurance guy doesn't always work. So I got a hold of him like, "Hey, I should be calling you on Wednesday. Answer your phone." He was like, "I will." I was like, "Okay, cool. You do that then." I was at the dollar store today and this girl was like, "Oh, I love your shirt." And I was like, "I made it." It's mine. It's my design. She was like, "Do you make a lot of money?" I was like, "No." I was like, "I just like making my own clothes." I was like, "I actually make like $1 a shirt." Like, but I was like, "I just happen to like wearing my own stuff, I guess." So, car shopping. Okay, look for the problem is car shopping would be a lot. Hey, car shopping would be a lot more fun if we had a lot more money. We are not getting an expensive car by any stretch of the imagination. Um, I have a very finite budget and I cannot go over it. And that is making it to where everything has a bajillion miles on it, which I don't want, or it's old as dirt, which is fine if it has low miles. So we're going to go look at one tomorrow that's got actually less miles than what's on my car. And it's got a new engine, new transmission, and new tires. I think they said new brakes. And we're going to go look at that tomorrow and pray that that's it because I have to drive an hour and a half there just to test drive the damn thing. So you had 10,000 to put down on your Jeep. So yeah, we're not going to a dealer. We're going to a private person. Yeah, we're just going to a private person. So I'm on Ryan Lee TM on YouTube. I'm gonna leave this up for a little bit. Um, yeah, so I just want it to be over with. That way we'll have two different cars. This new job that he has makes it to where he basically has to take the car to work every day. Um, Funny story, not really funny. um, so I took him to work, and this is like one of the only days I took him to work. I took him to work, and I made it back into town. It starts hailing or whatever, and I pulled into a restaurant to, not get hit with hail. And I was on my way to my friend's house, and he calls me from now across town and is like, "I need you to come back here, pick me up, and take me to the door." And I was like, "Have you lost your ever loving mind?" I was like, "You want me to drive across town to pick you up at your truck and drive you to the door?" He's like, "Yes, you'll understand when you get here." I'm not even kidding. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a lot. From his truck to the front of the building is over a mile. One direction. That's how far he has to park from the building. So I dropped him off at his truck, and his truck is over a mile from the door. And my husband's not in shape. He's a shape. He's circle. He's round, but he's not in a good shape. So it was going to be a mile some odd to get to the door, and then a mile some odd back to get back to his truck. And I was like, well, lucky for you, I'm in the car, so I'll come back or whatever. And it was a hike. It was a hike, and you had to go like you had to like swing out. It was, oh my god, it's I wouldn't walk it either. To be fair, I wouldn't walk it either. So so basically, he kind of has to drive because I am not doing that consistently. So because in order he there was a thing and whatever, and if this happens, like, yeah, and another thing is if he has to go, like if he's sitting in his truck on standby and he has to go to the bathroom, he'd have to walk over a mile to go to the bathroom. I don't know anybody in the planet who wants to walk a mile when they have to pee. I know I wouldn't. So so getting a second car is important, except for the fact that, like, we don't, in my opinion, we don't need a second car because I am perfectly happy never leaving my house again. And he works at night when I'm not driving anywhere. But it's also nice to have a second car because, like, he can go in anytime from 6 p.m. till midnight, just depending on when his load shows up. So he can show up to work at 6, he can show up to work at midnight. It just depends when they're like, hey, you need to come in. So if he showed up at 6 and I was out somewhere, on the rare occasion that I'm out anywhere, I'd have to come home. Kind of like what happened that day. I was actually for once going to my friend's house, and I made it halfway to her house, and he's like, I need you to come back. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And we live, it's a little bit of a hike to get back there too. I mean, it's not bad, it's not awful. A lot of people would like love the commute, to be honest, but it's not like right next door or anything. It's like 15-20 minutes. It's about 20 minutes away. So going back and forth, umpteen times it's gonna be pretty pricey in the wallet to drive there, multiple times a day. 20 minutes, but 20 minutes, 20 minutes, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of people, I know somebody that drives to work an hour a day. I don't know how they do it, but they do. That would drive me insane. I would hate that. But thank you. Um, so we're gonna go look at a car, and I hope it works. And I hope we don't get screwed. Because like I said, at the price point we don't have a lot of options. We don't have a lot of options. So I'm just praying that the options with few options that we have will work. Um, Here's to hoping, I guess. Um, so he's started this new job, and so far, there's been some little hiccups. They accidentally put him on off duty for a day. They put him in the computer wrong. So they did let him come on standby though. So he did get paid to basically sit in his truck in case a load came in, which happens there, which is nice. The other job didn't do that. If you didn't have anything, you just didn't have anything. Whereas these guys, they'll let you have like a standby option, which is nice. But if you don't go anywhere, you don't make very much money at all. But I guess some money's better than none. But he's used to working 6 days a week, and now he's working 5. So there's less miles, but he's paid more per mile. But currently, he's not getting the miles he was getting before. So you might get your own store. That is so cool. That is so cool. I hope you do. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I'm hoping it works, Lynn. Um, and not only that, that way if there's a car issue, then you have a second car to fall back on, which is always nice. I don't feel like we need it, but it's nice to have, you know what I mean? But yeah, my car is going to be officially paid off in full in like 2 weeks. So my car will be paid off, mine, not owed a damn dime on, in like the next couple weeks. So I haven't owned a car outright in a minute, a newer car in a minute. So we will actually own both of our cars, no car payments, which will be nice. Now I just gotta worry about the insurance. I called my insurance guy, and I'm like, how bad is insurance gonna be? He's like, it shouldn't be that bad. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's good to have a second car just in case. That's kind of where I'm at right now. We have the motorcycle, but like currently it has no battery and needs a couple things, but no, it's not the fact I budget so good. I do budget so good, but that's not the point. The point is I claimed my car in my bankruptcy. And my bankruptcy is over in October, but because we had to cash out his 401k because he changed jobs, I'm paying off the rest of the 401k or of the I'm paying off the rest of the bankruptcy, which means the last part that I'm paying off is my car. That's the only reason I own my car. That I have my car full out is because I claimed it in the bankruptcy and the bankruptcy is being paid off in the next like week or two. Otherwise, I would not. So it wasn't about me budgeting good this time. It was about the fact that I'm paying off my bankruptcy and it was included in my bankruptcy. But I will be out from underneath my bankruptcy 6 months early. So that's nice too. Don't ever do a chapter 13. You are under God's thumb for 5 years and it's awful. So, but yeah, we're going to be out of that. That's another thing we're doing is we're paying that off. We only owed 6 more months, so they're letting us get out of it early. We're going to get him a used car. We're going to take care of some stuff around here. And as usual, you guys know this, I'm always scared of spending any money because I feel like every time I spend any amount of money, something crazy happens. And then it's like, fuck, I needed that money for blah, 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 you know? So as much stuff as I need to get done, and it's stuff that like I need to get done. So regardless, it's good that I'm getting it done. But then like, I need to have my air conditioner looked at because it's kind of doing this sometimes it wants to freeze up thing. So I figure it needs Freon because I just got it installed in 2019. Like right after I moved here, I put a new furnace. I put in a new furnace and a new air conditioning unit. All of it, got it all in here at like 2019, early 2020. And so I'm figuring it just needs Freon. Now, if it just needs Freon, it's like $500. Now, if there's something else going on, I have budgeted for $500. So I'm praying that it's the $500. Oh, thank you, social. Thank you. Yeah, everything's okay. I'm having a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. We're still trying to get his benefit package up and going, which if you guys have ever gotten a new job and you have like a benefit package, we're trying to get the benefit package up and going, but there's like a hiccup. There's an issue where I only want dental and vision. I already have my own health insurance. I only want dental and vision. Hello. And it looks like either I'm on it or I'm off it. Like at his other job, I was allowed to have dental and vision and no insurance. This looks like it may say you need to have insurance, dental, and vision. I'm not paying for that. I'm not paying for that. That is like an extra $100 a week. I'm not, no. I will have no dental and no vision. I will go get me some glasses and be done there and pray that my teeth don't fall out of my head. I've not been taking care of my teeth very well as it is. And I was getting ready to get some dental work done. And then we lost our insurance because his job decided to shut the doors with 3 days notice after 8 fucking years. But so I may not have dental insurance and I may be screwed, but I'm not going to pay $100 a week extra on insurance when I already have insurance. That's stupid. I'm not doing that. So, well, there isn't a benefits specialist. There's just people there that can like help answer questions. Trucking isn't like other jobs. They don't have all those spiffy departments. They just have a hit the button and pray option. He don't even know HR's number. I'm like, call HR. He's like, I don't know HR's number. So, yeah, I'm not doing dual insurance. I don't need dual insurance. I have Medicare. I already pay enough. I already pay for my own. I don't need to. I make it a point not to go to the doctor. I make it a point to get generic prescriptions. I'm good. Well, I have no idea. I don't care. But yeah, so we're trying to get that done, which is frustrating me because I just want to know how much it's going to be out of his check and trying to get that up and going. So he has 30 days from the day he was hired. So we have time. We've tried to start it twice now. He's going to talk to them. He's actually going to talk to somebody in the morning and ask them if there's something we're doing wrong with that. because there's somebody he can talk to, and not a specialist, but there's somebody he can talk to and find out if we're doing something wrong with the dental and vision, because that's all I want. So I'm on Ryan Lee TM on YouTube. If you guys could give me a follow on YouTube, I would totally appreciate it. So we're trying to get that done. There's just been getting used to this new schedule. I usually go to bed for the most part somewhere between 11 and 1 usually now. Our schedules are really, really weird. I go to bed usually around 11 or 1. Sometimes I'll stay up a little bit later. I stayed up till like 2:30 last night because he was home, because he did the whole standby thing. But normally I go to bed around like 11 or 1. He comes home around 6 or 7. I get up around 11 or 1. Yes, I've been requiring 12 hours of sleep recently because I have not had sleep correctly for a very long time. So he comes home at like 7. Then I get up around 11. And then he gets up around 4, 3 or 4. And then we hang out from 4 until either 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 when he goes to work, and then rinse and repeat. So that's kind of how our days have been going, which has been a very strange thing to get used to. Our schedules are same but different, and it makes it kind of frustrating because there's a time part, like trying to make dinner is just, thanks to you. He's actually home every night currently. This particular job, it's home every night usually. We did not know this when we took the job. They told us in the interview that he was out 6 days. He works 5 days, which is frustrating. Unless he's out over the road on that 6th day, then he can work 6 days. That is very, very frustrating. And he's home most of the time, but he can be out overnight. So I just wish he worked 6 days. He's making less miles, more per mile, less miles, and less day. So I am terrified we are not going to be able to pay the bills. Like, I have been sitting here doing all my little calculations and everything, and like this week that he's doing right here, it won't pay the bills. It will not pay the bills. Even being a 5-week month, it's not going to pay the bills. But he had like 2 standbys, I think, and a couple of runs or whatever, and it's not going to pay the bills, which is why we are getting the severance package. I talked to you guys about the severance package. We are getting it. That's going to help us while we get our feet going in this. He's the new guy. He's been on a couple standbys. He's actually going in today to ask if there's how to get more loads per day, more miles per day, because this is not going to work. And what's really weird is this job is supposed to pay on par with his other job. So I'm trying to figure out how that's supposed to happen when he's working 1 less day, making less miles. He gets paid on duty pay, which he didn't get paid there before. But I'm just failing to see how it's going to add up correctly, because it's supposed to pay on par with his old job, and I'm just not seeing how it can do that. I'm just not. Yeah, he doesn't speak up. He's Mr. Loudmouth here or with me, but he is not good at speaking up in places where he needs to speak up. We've been going out. We've went through this for a very long time. He does not like to rock the boat, but he is actually going in and asking them how he can get more miles tonight, which I'm actually really proud of him, because he actually said he was going to do that on his own, which is, yes, there's bonuses. Yeah, there's bonuses. They are not unionized. Most trucking places aren't. I've yet to come across one that is. A lot of them talk about it, but they're not. The one he's at is not. The one he was at before was not. The one he was at before that was not. The one he was at before that was not. He's been trucking for 20 years and he's never worked at a unionized place. And he's worked at some big names, not just mom and pop shit. He's worked at some big names. That's what I said. You have to learn how to advocate for yourself. I've said that to him numerous times. That's why I was, like I said, I was very proud of him for saying he said he was going to go in and try to find out how he can get more loads, because he's used to working 12-hour days and he's working like 7. And while he's enjoying having more sleep, we need to also pay the bills. So we're trying to figure out if there is like some nice little middle of the road, like, can we get some extra miles a couple times a week? Like, that would be all we would need, is, once or twice. Owner operator is not an option. That is not an option, not even remotely an option. Number one, we couldn't get a loan because of the bankruptcy, so it's already not an option. Number two, I would never ever get involved in that. My father-in-law lost his ass owner operating. Now, he's an idiot, which didn't help, but there ain't no way. Nope. Yeah, social, that's nice and everything. That's not very feasible for everybody. First of all, we were being told in 3 days' time, you're not going to have a job. He gets offered a job in 45 minutes at a very renowned place. He's going to take the motherfucking job. We don't have time to do the whole this and that bullshit. We don't have time for that. We don't have 3 months worth of savings. We have bills that have to be paid, and a job that drug the rug out from underneath us with 3 days of time. They actually only decided to go on record and say they were closing like 3 days before they did. They talked about it, or there was whispers about it, but they didn't actually say, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, you're fucked, until about 3 days before they decided to close the damn doors. We don't have time for that. We have bills that have to be paid. So, and they told us everything, and we looked at the job ad and everything. Well, yeah, I don't want to get screwed over either, but here's the deal. That's what we were offered. That's the job that was offered. That's the job we had to take. Other than that, if we wanted to take time and look and just basically live off the 401k until things got better, could we have done that? Yeah, but I also know that every other place we looked said he was going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks at a time. This place is very well known, and it said in the ad that he would be making X amount, which was already on the lower end of what we needed. But what he's doing right now is lower than the lower end. I think it's because it's his first weeks being, or his first couple days being here, his first week, getting into everything, them test driving him, things like that. I think it's going to get better. I think, I have to hope it's going to get better. This is his first week, and every job is rocky in the beginning. So, no, he's trying to stay here. He's trying to stay here. My husband doesn't believe in job hopping, which is why he was at this job that ripped the rug out from underneath him for 8 years. You don't need to worry about what I do for a living. And how do you know I don't have a job? FYI, how do you know I don't have a job? It's kind of weird. I get paid to do social media. I don't get paid a lot anymore because I have basically fucked off social media, if you haven't noticed. I have other things going on, like real life stuff, real life financial stuff, real life medical stuff, real life stuff, and I have not been online very much at all. I started not being online as much probably somewhere around December, and just got online less and less and less. They will be paid. Don't worry about it. You don't need to worry about it. I'm going to worry about it. I'm the one who has to worry about it, unless you want to pay my bills. If not, shut the fuck up. Yeah, I do. I do for sure. I figure it's going to work out. I do with the 401k. I put aside a portion for savings for times like this. That was another thing, is make sure that we get everything that we need to have done. Um, I was owed quite a bit of money from all the money that I've put in for everything. Because I kept us afloat for December, and you guys know all the battling I had to do and whatever. That was all to keep us afloat during December when they shut down for a week or whatever they shut down for in December before it went to shit. Um, so a lot of my money just got completely taken. Um, but I made sure to put aside some savings, and then the severance package that we're getting is I'm using it strictly to help offset the cost of our bills while we straighten out. So instead of spending the severance money on stuff, we're going to use it strictly to help us get by, so we can basically take whatever check he has and kind of take our hands in the severance and go, okay, well, we need $100 or we need $50 or we need $300, whatever we might need. So, thanks, Tara. I appreciate you. I'm not able to put, I'm able to put a couple thousand into savings. I can't put nothing super crazy in there, but I'm able to put a few $1,000s into savings. And then we're going to have a few $1,000s with the severance. So hopefully that'll give enough time to straighten out everything with his job, let him get in comfortable, get to where they're giving him more miles. Like right now, if he even got 2 days a week where he did double runs, it would be fine. It's just this week, the first two, at least the first two checks are going to be kind of wonky for sure. We got his orientation check, and it was awful because he was paid hourly, and it was awful. It was so bad. It was like barely above minimum wage. Oh, it was so bad. And then we had to buy shoes out of it. They had to take his shoes out of it because he got shoes while he was there because they want him to wear a specific type of shoe. So they took that out of there. So that check was just not great. So I'm hoping, I know the first check's going to be pretty rough. The second check's going to not be a whole lot better. I'm hoping by the third week, things will straighten out. I'm hoping and praying. So, keep me in your thoughts. Keep me in your thoughts that things will level out. That'd be great. It's just hard, we haven't been in this position in years. The man's been trucking for 20 years, and this is it's hard to say because the one account he had, he actually transferred companies to keep the account. He was on the account for 14 years. But he was with this particular company for 8. So he was with the other company for 6 on this account. And then we moved to Kentucky so he could have this account. And then they shut their doors after 8 years of him being there. So he's had the same account for 14 years, and he doesn't really know what to do at this point. Like, he's not some 20-year-old guy who can just, learn things easily and whatever. Like he had some issues with the computer the first day or two. I guess he's doing pretty good now. Thanks, Tia. I appreciate you. But, I feel bad for him because, it's wild to me that, we moved to a whole nother state to keep a job, and then, they don't even give us the respect of, oh yeah, by the way, in a month's time, and that we're going to be shutting the doors. Maybe you guys might want to get your affairs in order. It was just whispers around, and then, yeah, by the way, you're done in another, couple days, week, whatever. Hey, miss. And that's just, it's shitty. It's really, really shitty. So we are where we are right now. And it sucks because he was the highest seniority at his place of employment. And now he's little stupid on the totem pole, barely nothing. I mean, yeah, he's got 20 years under his belt, but he just started at the company. That don't mean nothing. And he was the highest seniority at the other place. I mean, we got great pay, even though it sounded like we never had any money because we were getting so many garnishments taken out. But we were getting good pay. I looked back and we were getting good pay. We just weren't seeing any of it. But now he's got to start low on the totem pole. And because he's low on the totem pole, he doesn't want to rock any boats. And it's like, okay, babe, but you need to advocate for yourself. Like, let them know I want to work more. I want to be out longer. I want to pull more miles. I need this money. Like, it's okay to advocate for yourself. You can do it in a way that's not being a jerk. You know what I mean? Well, I don't go live as often because, like, literally at this point, I don't know when to go live. Right. The worst thing to say is we can't give you any more right now. But just like advocate for yourself, you know? I don't know what to do but when I get up, I have like 3 hours before he gets up, 3 to 5 hours before he gets up, which I basically spend for my me time of, I get a lot of the stuff done. I go around, I deal with all the animals, I get the dishes done, I do whatever laundry or whatever, sit down, watch some TV, and then he gets up, and then I don't want to just leave him. So for the next whatever, we're playing cards or watching TV or just sitting here hanging out. And then by the time he goes to work, I got like right now, a lot of times I'm like going to bed. A lot of times. I told him to call me though when he gets to his next place. So I'm gonna have to stay up a little bit tonight. I'm getting better with the schedule, so I don't think I'm gonna have to go to bed quite as early because, like I said, I've been so exhausted. I've been getting like 10 hours of sleep every night, and I don't think I'm gonna need quite that much. I've started being able to wake up sooner and feel better, so I guess my body's finally catching up from all the disaster that's been. Well, to be fair, the certain pay was $10,000 lower originally a year. So that's concerning. But then at the orientation, they said that it was going to be on par with what he made and even possibly more. So I'm thinking they're just starting him slow, which is what I'm praying for. Right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. One thing is I start thinking and then I start drowning, and then I've been doing really good with my anxiety the past X amount of days. I've actually been doing pretty good with my anxiety because I'll start to think of something horrible and I'm like, nope, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Think of something else. And then my brain will be like, oh, say less. And then it'll give me something else to stress about. And I'm like, nope, we're not doing that either. Pick something else. And literally that's what I do to get through before I go to bed, because before I go to bed, my brain tries to like put me into hyperventilation mode. So it'll tell me something horrible and I'm like, no. And it'll tell me something else horrible. And I'm like, no. So I've been doing pretty good. But like today, my anxiousness really started catching up with me. And like, I'm probably going to have to take some anxiety meds, to be honest. I haven't had to take them in about a week, but I'm probably going to have to take them because I feel like it's creeping up now. Because now we have the money available, but now I'm worried it's not going to go far enough. Like I've sat and I've played the numbers, and I've played the numbers a few different times, and everything seems to be sitting where it needs to sit, but I'm just worried it's not going to go as planned because a lot of things don't. So then I just start stressing, like, okay, well, what if it doesn't? Then what if this? What if this? What if this? And then your brain spirals, and then you end up in a panic attack. And I'm like, not really. Oh, okay. Well, good night to you. I'm on Ryan Lee Tim on YouTube. If you could follow me there, I'd appreciate it. I'm just hoping that this is just a slow start. I'm not looking to make $1 million. I'm not looking to be financially rich. I just want to be able to pay my bills and get an oil change. Like I'd be happy with that. I've lived very lean a lot of my life. I had to live lean during the bankruptcy where we were making great money and I was paying back $20,000. I had to pay back. Hey, how are you? I had to pay back that 20 grand in 4 years and 4.5 years. And so like I know what it's like to live lean. Even when you make good money, I know what it's like to live lean. But I want to be able to live lean and not live lean and barely survive. There is a difference. So I'm just hoping everything just levels out is all I'm hoping for at this point. Um so hey, how have you been? You just like disappeared. You fucked off into fuck off land, didn't you? You just been gone. I gotta change the dog. I have some dog beds in my washer that I was gonna flip over before I got on live. So when I get off here, I'm gonna have to flip their beds over. Especially I have to because Finnick's whole cage is in there. I'm washing his bedding, and if he wants to go to sleep in his cage, then I gotta have to have his bedding done. Right now he's laying down here with Pepper. Buddy's over there. Let's see, Buddy. Bronx must be over there somewhere. Pepper, Finnick, and I'm gonna say, yep, there's Sissy. Hi, Sissy. Why are you smushed right down here? Come here. No. She's got herself shoved into a little nook. Come here, baby. Come here. My little pork pie. So, as it stands right now, I've ran the numbers and everything should be good. Everything should be good. Now, that doesn't take into account like if something goes wrong. If something goes wrong, it's just then it's not gonna be good. You know what I mean? But I can basically only attest for the things I've put in and pray that nothing else goes wrong. And by the way, if you've noticed, my webcam also stopped working. It stopped working a live ago. It does not work. It's a brand new webcam and it just died. It won't work at all. I can't get it to turn on. I can't get it to do nothing. So that was $70 down the damn drain. It worked for like 3 months, and now it doesn't work. So that's perfect. But I still have the one on my computer. So I was contemplating getting a new computer. Not a great one, but a new computer, just because I seem to have so many freaking issues with this one, even though it's practically new. I bought it like X amount of years ago and then just never used it. So like it's not new, but it's barely used. But like half the crap on it doesn't seem to be working. And now my webcam went to hell in a handbasket. But Jesus Christ, Finnick. That dog has gas that can clear a room. And I know it's him because it smells like him. That's why he literally rips them every 8 minutes. You're killing me, dude. You are absolutely killing me. God, you reek. But, so yeah, I've basically just been trying to just deal with everything. And it's, I used to get on live for hours and hours and hours every night and talk about all sorts of stuff. But I don't have a whole lot to talk about really. I just don't. I mean, we're going through some stuff like everybody does, families. Yeah, she's pretty soft. Life, the differences with me and a lot of people that watch me, not like my good followers, the idiot followers, the idiot people who just happen upon my lives and make stupid comments. The difference is when I'm on live, I don't play for the camera. And what you see is what you get. And my life is not perfect. And anybody with 5 cents of common sense knows their life is not perfect either. I just am very transparent when I'm online. And so what you see is what you get. And if that involves me bitching about bills or bitching about his job or bitching about whatever I'm bitching about, it's because that's life. Like, life is not perfect. And I could get on here and lie, but I don't what good is that gonna do for anybody? I mean, I could get on here and lie and try to make myself feel better, and you guys could sit here and listen to me lie and believe it. But is that really the point of watching somebody be alive, is to just be lied to the whole time? I mean, if my content ain't for you, my content ain't for you, and that's okay. I mean, nobody is holding you here. Nobody is holding you hostage. You can feel free to scroll at any time. But if you're watching me and have watched me for the past, 4 years, 5 years, 4 years, 4 years, past 4 years, this is who I am, and it is what it is. Thanks, Flamingo. It is what it is. And I just live life in front of everybody. And a lot of other people that have the same issues I do, which is what makes it even funnier. Can you let go of my shirt, baby? Thank you. A lot of the people that have the same money issues I do, or the same job issues I do, or the same medical issues I do, or whatever, want to come in my comments and be like, oh my God, why do you talk about blah, blah, blah? Why don't you get a job? Why don't you blah, blah, blah? Look in the mirror, because your life is probably just as miserable as mine. And if it's not now, I suggest you chill out, because literally my life didn't suck until a month ago. My life was on par with sucking, but it was okay. My life was doing good. And then the rug was ripped out from underneath us. And this is where we are right now. And anybody can have that happen. Anybody could go to work any day of their life and be fired. Anybody could go to work and be laid off. Anybody can go to work and something happens and you can no longer work there. And so, you can look down your nose or whatever. My husband has held the same job, like I said, for a bajillion years. And he did everything right. He was top seniority at his company. He did everything right. He's been there for years. He's been with the account for over a decade. And he still got his job yanked out from underneath him. It is what it is. You can't lifes. You know what I mean? Aw, thank you so much, Tara. I appreciate you. And there's just no point in me getting on here and just lying to everybody. Like, yeah, life is great. We're doing great. His job is great. Everything's great. That'd be a pretty boring life, in my opinion. I mean, maybe it's just me, but I feel like that'd be really boring if I just got on here. It's like, everything's great. Everything's wonderful. And then what? Get on here and brag about what? I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, you can either get online and be truthful and relatable, or you can get online and lie and brag, and then people look down their nose because they're like, oh, listen to them just brag about their life. They got such a good life, and they just got to shove it down my throat. Or it's, oh my God, they just bitch all the time. That they have this horrible. You can't make people happy. You just can't. You can't make people happy. They're upset when you have a bad life. They're upset when you have a good life. Trust me, I've tried both things. When I first got on TikTok, in the very, very, very beginning, in the first 2 months that I was on TikTok, I tried to act like my life was great. I tried to act like everything was perfect and great, and my family was perfect and great, and my situation was perfect and great, and we were some fucking Leave It to Beaver Cleaver family, and that lasted about 2 months, because it's not feasible. It's not feasible to just sit here and act like life doesn't life, because it does. And then I had to very publicly live out the whole debacle with my kid. Numerous debacles with my kid. Numerous debacles. So it is what it is. I can look at it negatively, or I can look at it positively. I'm going to choose to look at it positively. My husband got a job. I don't know how well the job is going to go, but right now he has a job. It could be worse. He could not have a job. Right? Right. He has a job. It pays money. Don't know if it's going to pay enough money, but it pays more money than not having a job. Right? Right. So I can look at it that way. I don't know if the 401k money is going to go as far as I need it to go, even though I've planned it out numerous times in my notebooks, all my freaking notebooks that I have sitting here written on. I planned it out and replanned it and planned it again, and everything plans out. But if I don't get something done, I wasn't going to get it done before this anyways. Because if we wouldn't have taken it out, we wouldn't have had the money to do it. So I guess I shouldn't beat myself up if everything doesn't go as planned. Because it's money that we didn't know we were going to have to get stuff done, that we need to get done, that we weren't going to get done because we didn't have the money until just now. So I can look at that and be like, all right, well, everything I get done is a bonus. And everything I don't get done, well, it wasn't going to get done anyway. I'm trying to be a less pessimistic person, although I can tell you sometimes it's really freaking hard not to be pessimistic. But I'm trying to be less pessimistic. I'm trying to be more positive. So I don't do TikTok shop. I don't do TikTok shop. I don't know. It's hard for me. Like, I did battling for 2 months. I battled for 2 months. It was not my favorite thing in the world. I battled for 2 months. I did well. I did very well. Got a couple $1,000s out of it. But I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Good night. Good night. Everybody's going to go tonight on me. Everybody's like, I got to go. I got to go to bed. This is why I don't want to be on here anymore, because you guys are going to leave me here and go to sleep. But, what did your name used to be, Trevor? I recognize your name. You used to be somebody else. I can't remember what it was. Did it begin with an M? I know your name, though. I remember seeing it before. So that's the update that I have of my life and how it's going. It could be worse. It could be better. It could be a lot worse. And that's basically where I'm at with it. Is it could be better, but it could be a lot worse. So I feel like we're hopefully getting to a good place. I'm hoping. The girl at the bank was like, when one door shuts, another one opens. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But I don't know. I hate, for me, not knowing stuff is like the worst. I hate not knowing stuff. Like, I just want to know that everything's going to be okay, everything's going to work out, and not have to sit here and wonder and stress and whatever, because I don't know. I hate not knowing stuff. Of course, knowing it would also suck as well, I guess. So I don't really know which one would be worse, to be honest. But I just hate not knowing stuff. And I'm in a very big place of not knowing stuff right now. There's a few things that I'm in a boat of murky waters on, and it just really sucks. There's medical stuff going on that we're in the middle of that is scary and unknown. And then there's financial stuff, and that's scary and unknown. And it's just trying not to deal with it all constantly, which sucks. Well, I'm sorry you feel this way, Bianca. Yeah, Trevor, I recognize your name. I don't know. I remember talking to you before. You just got your first job in a year and you're anxious. You're going to do great. Yeah, my anxiety is going off the deep end, not knowing stuff for sure. Yeah, that is life, unfortunately. Unfortunately, yes. My mother-in-law is moving Saturday. She's moving Saturday. She just got back from her cruise where she was sick